compare last season's 22-23 season, would you compare the scoring ability with current season? How would you compare those two? Has it improved? Is it diminishing? Is it constant? How would you say about that?
Last season, Arsenal were way better. If you look at last season, the first 10 matches, we only lost 1. So we managed to record 27 points out of 30. So if you compare scoring a streak from last season to this season we are a bit low.
This season, do you know that Bukayo Saka has already recorded 20 GA?
In all competition.
Yes. Last season, he had not recorded in the second leg.
So this means on individual performance and perspective, players are actually higher than where they were last season.
Yeah.
So, but team-wise, collectively, so we are a little bit low on scoring and offensive.
It's because I think this season the Premier League is a bit harder.
And maybe everybody was prepared for Arsenal.
Everybody was prepared for Arsenal and Man City because they know we are very little.
Yeah,
and we are one of the favorites for taking the Premier League.
Hello guys, welcome back. Today I'm your host, Mesh7. Welcome to Big Sports Africa. Find us on all social media platforms, X, TikTok, and also Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Big Sports Africa. Put that notification bell on so that when you upload something new, you'll be the first person to get notified. And today we want to talk about Arsenal. Today is Ghana's talk. Okay, now I get you. So now, going into the second half of the season, we're having a lot of high hopes.
Yeah.
Now that we have some of the players, some of our quality players, talk of Thomas Partey. So I was talking to one of my friends yesterday about, now, what is the difference between the way we were playing last season and the way it seems like we are struggling too much for that fluency of the ball. So I actually told them, now, the only person who can give that quality is Thomas Partey. And now Thomas Partey is back. Now, given an opportunity to choose your first 11, let's talk about the midfield first. So in the midfield, we have Jorginho, we have Rice, we have Partey, we have Odegaard, we have Smith Rowe, we have Fabio Vieira, and we have Odegaard. So now, what is your ideal 3 midfield? That you think when you go to Anfield, you're winning that match with that midfield?
Okay, number 1, I will use Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, and Martin Odegaard.
So Partey is a lone 6, double pivot, Partey and Rice.
Double pivot of Partey and Rice. Because number 1, we know that Rice is a midfielder who goes to the front.
So now, if you play a double pivot of Partey and Rice, and Zinchenko inverting, do you think your midfield be congested?
I wouldn't say it will be congested because it is not a midfield that we've tried, and we were really hoping that because we bought in Declan Rice, that was the midfield that we all hoped for. And I think it's still one of the best midfields so far. Because
now, where do you play Kai Havertz?
Kai Havertz, number 1, Kai Havertz is not a midfielder. That man should be a false 9, should be a striker, because this is a guy who was brought in to score goals. And midfielders are not actually, for Arsenal, midfielders are what we call what do we call them? They should bring in the play.
Maybe the engine?
Yeah, the engine of the not scoring goals. And we find that we're giving a person like Martin Odegaard so much strain because he's seeing that our strikers are not scoring. So he has to come in and score because you have to win you have to win these matches because of goals. And I would really use Havertz in front.
Now, Owish.
Yeah.
Now, Assassin is saying Havertz has to play as a false 9.
Sure.
So, what's your take about that? Where do we play Jesus?
Yeah, actually, I have a different opinion on that. If it were me as a coach...
First, are you choosing Partey, Rice, Odegaard midfield? Or do you have an alternative midfield?
Yes, you see, that midfield is an ideal midfield for Arsenal. But maybe I can differ with my brother here. When it comes to arrangement in the midfield. Are we together? So I will not go for double pivot. I will go for single.
So that when Zinchenko inverts, the double pivot is Partey.
I go with single.
A lone 6
of Thomas Partey in front of the defense because Partey is so patient. Rice has a tendency of going forward every single moment. But Partey is a very patient midfielder. He can maintain. He can act as an ideal pivot. Are we together? So Rice will be pushing forward. Remember, in the formation of 4-3-3, the three midfielders here, those two midfielders, one will always be a second striker, will be supporting the main striker. So if you bring Jesus, for example, as a striker, then that thing will not work effectively, because you might put Jesus as a main striker and then you will end up finding him where? On the flank.
On the flank,
so
sure.
Naturally he's not used to stick. So Kai Havertz, I'll choose him as a main striker and not false 9. He should stick as a number 9 who will always be available at the arc of the D. Understand?
Just to cut you, I wouldn't use for me, I wouldn't use Kai Havertz as a main striker because of the finishing. That man lacks finishing, and that's why I would use him as a false 9.
Just to win duels.
Yeah, just to win duels because of his height and then his aggressiveness. Although he has been slow a bit, but of late I've seen him improve so much. And then Gabriel Jesus, because we know Gabriel Jesus doesn't want to be a striker so many times, and I've even seen Gabriel Jesus being subbed. I've seen Bukayo Saka being taken out, Reece Nelson coming in as a striker, and then Gabriel Jesus going to the wing. And I've seen Gabriel Jesus perform in that wing. That's what I'm saying. Now, he should be a good.
Now we're on that note. Julian Timber is back, maybe 2 to 3 weeks before match fitness. Would you place Zinchenko as in the midfield in absence of Thomas Partey, or wish?
Maybe what I would do is to give Zini a chance to breathe. So that Timber can come in.
But
there.
you know the quality that he brings in the midfield. If you watch his matches, you see those passes, cross passes that he brings, very quality.
Yes, and I think one mistake that Zin is doing, he is being carried away by the excellence in playing forward.
And that's what we are saying. That's what we are saying. Julian Timber in the defense, Zinchenko in the midfield. So that now he can do that without any alterations.
So I think what I can do, I think even what gives Zini the chance and the confidence to go forward, he knows that his place can be covered by Rice in the defensive part. But know that if you give him full mandate to stay in the midfield, he might slip up. Because remember there, if you do things that are not necessarily doable, you will mess up. Because in the midfield, no one will cover you. A defender will not come to cover in the midfield. Unless we are in the attack and there is that transition between defenders and the midfielder. Now when that gap is being narrowed, now the midfielder can have a privilege of going forward.
Assassin, what do you think? Would you play Zinchenko in the midfield when Timber is back in the defense?
No, just bring in Timber and give Zini a sub. This man needs to rest because Zini is one player who we've watched him before. He's one player when he gets an injury, he will be out for like 3 months, and we don't want to risk that because we want to go hard. This is the time we want to go hard, and this is the time that Arsenal fans, we have that hope. And I'm really hoping that Julian Timber comes in and Zinchenko comes in as a super sub. Because I've seen Zinchenko come in as a super sub and he has delivered.
So now, as we conclude, Owish,
yes,
I want you to give me an ideal first 11 that will win you a title.
Simple.
In the current squad.
In the current squad,
are you going for Raya or Ramsdale?
Anyone.
No, I'll stick with Raya.
Raya is a good one.
If maybe you want me to give me my first 11 that will carry the trophy this season, probably UCL and the EPL.
A double.
Let me give you the squad that will eventually take this.
We're seeing some fans are watching this thing and they are laughing. And they think we cannot win a double. They can.
Also, fans on the comment section, kindly give us also your opinions. What do you think it's ideal first 11 that will give Arsenal the Premier League and also the Champions League?
You just say a double. You know, most of them don't know where. It's a double.
Okay, a double.
Thank you. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yes. I think a double will make sense because we are only in EPL
and the Champions League
and UCL.
Yeah.
So,
big things, right? Yeah. Now, let me give you this first 11 that I believe it is in the Arteta's mind now that everybody is available.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, right now we don't have those injuries.
Yes. Now in the back line, as usual, Rolls-Royce
must be there.
Saliba.
Saliba himself, right? Mangalis.
Gabriel.
Top
Yes.
scorer, top defender.
Then on the right,
Mm-hmm.
give me no, I'll go for Ben White. Left,
Tomiyasu.
left, I'll go for Timber. Are you together?
And the reason why this man I think is going for Ben White
Mm-hmm.
is because I think Ben White commits very well with Bukayo Saka.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
there is
Ball
that
from
chemistry.
Ben White.
Yeah.
In the fact that there are two Englishmen.
Arsenal,
there.
we understand
Are you
our
together?
team.
Midfield.
Now, so in the midfield,
Ooh, we will
Thomas
finish you.
Partey in front of this defenders.
Yeah,
Six.
sure. Yeah, six.
Six,
Thomas
yeah?
Partey.
Then I'll go for Rice
8.
in the 8, 10,
The only one.
Odegaard.
The only one. The next
Are you together?
Messi.
Then I'll stick with Jesus in the attack. Right, as usual.
We don't have-
Bukayo.
Left.
Left, Martinelli. Bench.
Thank you very much.
Bench.
Assassin
You want me to go to
Ibra.
the bench?
No, that we just need first 11 only.
This is
Now,
no, bench. You want to know
Assassin Ibra.
First of all,
give us your ideal first 11
This-
that will give us the double.
this man, let me tell you, this man knows football.
Mhm.
The fact that he's starting David Raya on the post.
Mhm.
You know, David Raya is very, very composed with the ball and the hands and everything. I think the problem with the Ramsdale, sorry to say this, but I think Ramsdale, he has that thing that he needs to be
Invoked so much with the fans.
with the fans.
Yeah.
He gets carried away with the fans so much.
And so,
and,
like a lot of emotions, you see.
True.
Yeah.
So I will go with David Raya.
Mhm.
I'll just use the same backline this man has.
Mhm.
The Rolls Royce.
Mhm.
We have the top scorer defender.
Gabriel.
If you don't know their names, I think Meshach will be
Yeah,
assisting you with their names.
Mhm.
And then on the right, we have this man from England, Ben White.
Ben White.
His chemistry with the Bukayo Saka is very critical.
Perfect.
And then on the left, I will use Julian
Timber.
because he's back.
Mhm.
This man is the first man to help us beat Manchester City since before Mikel Arteta joined. So I will go with Julian Timber.
Yeah.
In the midfield, that's where now I will differ with him a little because I will use two pivots. I will
Partey
use,
and Rice.
Partey and Rice because I know Partey will always remain back. Rice will always go in front because Rice is a one midfielder. Even right now, we find that he's the guy who is bringing set piece for Arsenal. So he's one guy who knows how to bring those balls. And then I will use Martin Odegaard because I don't see why I should not use Martin Odegaard.
Exactly.
And this is the only Messi we have in the Premier League right now.
Yeah, sure.
In the front, that's where we have a problem because for me, I will use this side, of course, Bukayo Saka. This other side, I prefer Trossard to Martinelli because I think the runs, Trossard is one guy who knows how to invert. Martinelli knows how to one-on-one. 1 versus 1, you cannot win Martinelli because he is very clinical. He's very fast with the legs.
Yeah, sure.
Trossard, the IQ. I like Trossard's IQ better than Martinelli's because Martinelli is one guy. He will push the defenders towards his side, but you will find that Trossard is coming this side, looking for space. Who is free? Martinelli's cross will always come from there. Yeah, goalkeepers can easily take.
Give us number 9.
Number 9. That's where my problem comes in because I prefer Edin Nketiah.
So exactly because I think Nketiah is a good finisher than Jesus.
Yeah.
But also Jesus has other qualities that Nketiah doesn't have.
Yeah,
Nketiah is a good presses very well. But we shall see. So here we go, Arsenal fans. I think this is the best ideal first 11 to win us the double. Raya, the best goalkeeper. Left back, I'm going with Ben White. And then centre backs, I'm going with Rolls Royce, William Saliba, and Gabriel Magalhaes. And then the right back, I'm going with Julian Timber when he's fit. And then I'm going to have a lone 6, Thomas Partey. 8, I'm going with Declan Rice. And 10, I'm going with Martin Odegaard.
The skipper.
And then I'm going with Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Jesus, and Martinelli.
Why not Nketiah?
Nketiah is a good finisher, but I think there's some qualities that Jesus have, like when the team has a low block. So Jesus has that ability to dribble and go through, and also Jesus
I think
has
it's the experience.
and also has that experience. So although Nketiah is a good finisher, so on a team that doesn't have sit back and wait for the ball, I'll go for Nketiah because striking the ball in Nketiah is top notch.
And you're taking Martinelli over Trossard?
So I'm taking Martinelli over Trossard.
I will take Trossard over Martinelli.
Okay, now, Arsenal fans, give us your deal first 11 and tell us, who do you think we should start in the first 11 to win us the double? See you until next time. This is Big Sports Africa.
Still your number one online football show in Africa right now.